Haha, you all thought I was dead, but now here I am pumping out 2 videos in one day.
Hello, friends! For those of you who missed the announcement, I am back making videos now! Obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be seeing this. But I've got a ton of NECA and Hasbro stuff to unbox still, just stuff that's been piling up in my room for like over a year now, because that's how long it's been since I made a video. And I look forward to opening it soon, so look forward to some videos from me in the near future, hopefully, unless I decide to get lazy again. Anyways, this today we are taking a look at is the Aliens Defiance Xenomorph. And the cool thing about this guy is he is basically a Praetorian. I mean, I don't think they call him that in the comic, but Praetorians are always just like warriors with sort of extra crests and stuff on their heads, and that's what this guy is. That's his real only difference. He's got some other differences too we'll take a look at, but I mean, the sculpt, it's NECA. Of course it's quality, but it's mostly a reuse from this guy, the big chap, the drone from the first movie. He reuses the torso, the arms, the hands. You can see that the hands are exactly the same. Got the webbed 2 fingers in the middle, and then the single thumb on one side, single thumb on the other side, right? And then the upper thigh is even the same. But from the knee down, he's got original leg parts. This is like a digit grade leg, but he does not reuse the digit grade legs from the runner, the dog alien. And then, of course, his head is original. Now, his tail looks pretty similar to like the other warriors and drones, but it is way longer, actually. So that's good. Now, the sculpt on NECA stuff is always great. They reuse some parts, but they're great parts that they reused. My real complaint with the sculpt is this. You see that? Guys, that's the bendy wire in my tail sticking out. That's not good, NECA. I think I even see, like, again, here. See that little silver bit? That's the bendy wire. So, that's no good, but I mean, the rest of the sculpt is pretty awesome. In fact, he's even got a triple inner mouth sculpted, if you can see, but we'll pull that out when we get to articulation, but this is the first Xenomorph I know of that does that. Anyways, the Xenomorphs in the Aliens Defiance comic book by Brian Wood, I think is the author. They evolved without a queen, so they developed egg morphing techniques. So that's why this guy looks different, I guess. He gets you and he turns you into an egg until there is a queen to lay eggs, which is kind of a concept that's from the very first movie, which I think is really cool. It's kind of like he's a concept figure, but he's really sort of like a royal guard with that crest. Like, look, he's a warrior, but he's got like a queen's crest sort of thing going on in his head. Really awesome figure, I think. The paintwork on this guy, you might have guessed, is mostly good, but look at the butt back there. It's really glossy and there's no brown paint. The rest of the body has these brown paint applications all over, and it looks great. He's really glossy compared to most Xenomorphs. And where there's silver paint, it's very clean, like the triple mouth thing going on. It's super clean. Good job on the mouth, NECA. And the brown is great all around, except where there is none. No brown on the butt. So I guess he wipes. He's very good at wiping. He's a cleanly Xenomorph. Awesome.
Okay, now let's take a look at the Xenomorph, Praetorian, whatever you want to call him's articulation. So from the knees up, he pretty much has the same articulation as the drone that NECA has released. He has a ball joint head, and you can remove this spine in the back to give it a little more range. And I gotta say, he has some of the better range I've seen on NECA's Xenomorph figures. It gets good side to side, really good side to side, although I will say if you go a little too far, you can see a gap in the neck on both sides. So, I mean, that's not ideal, but I'll take that for the extra range in the head. That's awesome, I think. Then he's got ball joint shoulders and swivels right under the shoulders. And on his right shoulder, he has this big gap, and I feel like the more I move it, like the looser it gets. That's not good, NECA. I mean, look at that gap. That's, And I had this problem on my drone figure, too, my big chap, my old one from back in the day. Anyways, they've got hinge and swivel elbows with balls in them, and hinge and swivel wrists, just like the drone figure did. There's a diaphragm joint, and then, there goes that spine from the back. I'll just leave that off for now. And then he's got ball joint hips under a rubber diaper, also swivels at the thighs, double knees, just like the drone. And then here's where we get some extra articulation. There's a lower knee that's hinge and swivel, and a lower knee, this is foot, I guess, that's hinge and swivel. No toe articulation or anything, but very good articulation. And then lastly, of course, is that mouth, and it's got the inner jaw that comes out, and it's a little hard to see, but there's a triple jaw in there. So this is not the inner mouth. Inner mouth is way in there, and it's extra long this time, because triple mouth means it's much farther back. So you're going to need tweezers to get that out, but still very cool that the mouth comes out. So let's take a look at the Xenomorph's packaging. This is what it was like. There's some really cool artwork of him right down there. This is like interior art from the comic book. And you get the Aliens Defiance comic book logo up at the top. And on the side, it's just transparent so you can see the figure, which I like. And then on the back, got this really cool figure. Well, it's the same figure, but it's got red lighting, so it kind of looks like a different figure, one of those red ones NECA always releases. And at the bottom, we've got, I think her name's Lambert from the first Alien movie, and that's this figure, and then the blue figure, which, you know, I'm not going to get the other two, because this Xenomorph's the coolest. Anyways, nothing on the other side, so let's just cut this bad boy open already. So inside your standard NECA clamshell, you get all these twist ties, but on the inside here is this artwork from issue 3 of the comic book. This is really cool looking, actually. You can pull this out. The card art from the inside is actually the cover of issue 3 of Aliens Defiance by an Italian artist named Massimo Carnevale, if I'm pronouncing it right. And it looks really cool. It's like there's a planet and there's an alien over there. And then back, we already saw, of course. In the tray, you get a bunch of twist ties. There's 1, 2, 3, it looks like. I think that's about it. Oh, no. These are 2 separate ones, so that's 4. 4 twist ties. This one's really tangled up in particular. Then psych, there's one more twist tie right here at his his wrist and his hip, that thing. Alright, he's finally free. So for accessories, the Defiance Xenomorph just gets one. He gets this stand that has come with NECA's runner aliens, and I was kind of wondering why this was, since he's not a runner dog alien, but then I realized when I found out how hard it was to get him standing with those wonky double extra legs that, you know, he kind of needs a stand. And, you know, he's not a runner, so you don't put it under the rib cage. You just kind of stick it up his butt. But it works! So it's a good accessory, I guess. Okay, scale time. If you stand him straight up, which you're not gonna most of the time, but if you do, he stands at about 9 3/4 inches tall. He's almost to 10 inches. He's a tall guy. Here's the Defiant Xenomorph with NECA's drone, NECA's warrior, NECA's runner alien, and an AVP warrior, also from NECA. Ripley and Hicks from the same line, a big ol' AVP predator, and as always, my 6-inch Batman and Spider-Man. So ultimately, friends, I do really like this figure. It's different enough that it stands out, but he's just barely different enough that he can still blend in with your Xenomorph collection. He makes a great addition to like a horde of Xenomorphs, because it's like, oh, this is one who's just a little bit special. He's just got a weird head and some weird legs to make him taller. He definitely stands out. I'm just going to use him as like a Praetorian from the Expanded Universe stuff. I don't think he's called that in the comic, but, you know, whatever. I mean, my only real complaints are that right shoulder is broken, as far as I'm concerned, so definitely watch out for that. And the wire in the tail is poking through even more now, NECA. That is not good. That's really not good. Definitely need to watch out for that, too. But I love the stand. He's all wiggly now. But I love the stand. I'm so glad NECA included that. Otherwise, he's a good figure. But those 2 issues with the bendy wire and the shoulder are really bad. I mean, that could be enough to break the figure for some people. But if you're a Xenomorph fan, I think you should go out and get this if you can still find it to buy it. Because this figure came out in like
September, July of 2017, something like that. Man, my figures are old now. You know what? It's cool. It's retro now. That's what it is. So I'll be doing retro reviews from now on of all the stuff I've just been too lazy to unbox. So see you next time, friends, when I unbox some old stuff that's been sitting around. Peace out, YouTube.